tree off to our right there. They provide such a wonderful canopy, and it gives us this little bit of show with dappled light that starts to come through. And take a look at that. Some of our rhododendrons still going strong. And I want y'all to keep your attention focused on the right, because color abound is starting to come up. And we get to see the culmination of 200 years of DuPont influence on these grounds, with the azalea woods that gets to pop out here. So off to my left is one of the formal gardens that was introduced to Winterthur. It is 8 acres of azaleas that spans all the way across. Many of them are Japanese azaleas that have been added in, but we're going to go back in time for a bit. Who remembers the American chestnut?
Yes.
Yes, it's a wonderful tree for some. This was an entire grove of American chestnuts all the way to our left before the azaleas were in, but as soon as that blight hit, all of those trees needed to be taken down. They're actually used in a lot of the buildings that are around here. And then Henry Francis had azaleas planted. They liked it so much that this soon spread to, again, that 8 acres. So keep your eyes focused on there. Now what's kind of neat is to our left and to our right, this is also that same garden that we were following. I got to mention the trees for a bit, but this has about 4 layers to it. Starting with the dense pachysandra that covers the forest floor, the small little flowers that are starting to pop up. I can't name all of them, but I will try to point out what I do know, seeing kind of the ends of our spring beauty, and our primrose is starting to pop up. But with this dense pachysandra, it now gives way to our small trees. You can see some of them that are coming up to our left and to our right. Take note of the ones that have that plastic railing around them. They've actually been installed quite recently. We still work on these gardens. And just take a look at what's greeting us as we start heading into our next little area. Pink, reds, whites, and blues cover the ground, done in this scenic style. Henry Francis was a master of color, and a lot of different colors that we see, pinks, blues, and reds being a common theme. But take a look left. It's a little tough to see with all of this growth, but you're seeing a brick building start to appear. It's called our 1750 house. That was taken from Delaware, and it originally served as the heating and cooling system for this home. When HVAC got invented, it was added on, but you can still see some of the original brickwork that's done in on the slots. And all of that is to keep your attention away from the home that's just creeping up on our right. Parking right next to this beautiful double file viburnum, but what I'm going for 70, 80, 90 years. So they've started to hybridize. Take a look at some of the cups as you go along. Some are just your standard, of course, your white with the leopard print inside, but then others are fully pink. That's incredible. Oh, take a look to my right. What's not just giving us pink isn't the azaleas, it's also a little bit of our magnolias. This whole area is considered Magnolia Bend, and about early April or so it likes to pop up with pink. It's a wonderful spot to walk through alongside our winter hazel walk. Oh. Francis again played with color, letting the azaleas start to go through, but then inside, lighter colors take over. Darker colors on the inside, lighter on the outside. And then I've got this golden fir that's just about to pop up. If you're brave enough, feel free to reach out and give it a little touch. This golden false cypress builds and builds and builds on itself until it creates essentially a giant wall. And this is all one single organism that hides one of the best trees on our property. That is a dawn redwood or a metasequoia. It was planted in these gardens in the early 1950s. That is just a baby, at least to us, 1940s, excuse me. This tree is known for a few things. First, it was considered extinct in North America up until the bird's nest that's in the back, a small area for story times, and then there's this ring of mushrooms that if you can see. Some say if you step inside, you'll disappear. Are there any children here? No. Be careful. Those have sensors and sprinklers in them.
Yeah, our grandchildren did that.
More of our Winterthur azaleas here to my left and our right. We do have an azalea named after us, and it's a beautiful bloom that likes to come out. But I got to mention that stone just a little bit earlier with our quarries. You can see an example here done in our roundabout. We have two rocks on our property. The Thompson Bridge Gneiss, Gneiss, and then Gneiss, and then the Brandywine Blue Granite. Now it's a little bit tough to see, but tucked through all of the greens and the pinks, we have the Icewell Terrace there. First, a wonderful picnic spot. But also, that original site is where the DuPonts used to store their ice before modern refrigeration. They would cut it out from this place called Duck Pond, wrap it up in hay, and then bury it in the dirt in that location. As the house slowly transformed, becoming bigger and bigger, that just became a driveway, and now a sightseeing terrace. Oh my god, it's here. We're not supposed to have favorites. I do. This is going to be a two-parter. I'm going to stop us right at this small alcove here. Welcome to the Reflecting Pool Garden. This is a garden. See, the garden is meant to grow over the stone in varying stages. In late April to May, everything is just covered with color, from the azaleas that like to go to a lot of the other stuff that's blooming here. I don't know most of what's going on now. It's been a few weeks since I've been in the gardens. But the reflecting pool itself is incredible. It was also the site for the original swimming pool. That was about 8 feet deep. That's been filled in to be about 3 feet deep now, and the water aspect. We weren't just a home. We weren't just a sprawling garden. You might have heard of Winterthur Farms by chance. We were a 2,600 acre property that had over 20 specialty farms. And if you take a look to your right, it might be a little tough to see through the trees now, but you'll see the top of our dairy barn start to come into view. Ignore the radio tower, that doesn't exist. We take it to 19th Republican boss of Delaware. During that time, he tried to have the town, or at least have authorization to put a train station on his property. Township said no, so he became president of the Wilmington and North Train Company, and that is why we have a fully active train station there. Not active anymore, that train line is still active, but the train station, incredible view of the Winterthur property. If you decide to hike out there today, it's closer to the Enchanted Woods, so you get to see some of the azaleas and rhodos that are still going, but then you get to see the sprawling acreage and why the DuPonts fell in love with this place. But I'm going to cut the chatter for just a little bit. You've heard me enough. We got just a beautiful backdrop of what's growing out here. So So that's the quarry bridge I was mentioning, by the way. You can see some of the work that's being done to it. When I say a tree fell on it, look at the size of our trees here.